Okay, this is going to be part 4, the final video, I hope. I'm sorry that this is a little wonky, but you know I'm doing this from home and I have it rigged up, guys. So I think that this will work. All right, let's get this final party started. So we are going to figure out the perimeter of this polygon. If we start here, we can literally just count from A to B, and this baby is 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing down here. This dude is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those you can count. The rest of them you can't. So what I'm gonna do right here is I'm gonna draw a right triangle. You guys always do that. Draw a right triangle. So this dude here is 1. I'm gonna count here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5. Now what we're gonna do is we are gonna do the shortcut to the Pythagorean theorem to find this side here. We're gonna take the square root of 5 squared. Because we are looking for the hypotenuse, we are adding this side squared. We're gonna get the square root of 25 plus 1. Oh my gosh, this is shaking. Sorry, guys. Which is the square root of 26. When you put that in your calculator, you are going to get roughly 5.1. So that is going to be the length of that side. I'm going to circle all of these just so we know. All right, now we're going to look here. So same thing. You were going to draw a right triangle. Boom, boom. There it is. Let's count. This guy here is 1, 2. This guy here is 1, 2, 3. I know that's kind of tough to see. Now what we're going to do, same thing we just did. We are going to do the shortcut to the Pythagorean theorem. We're going to take the square root of one side squared plus the other side squared because we're looking for the hypotenuse. So that's why we add. This is going to be 9 plus 4, which is the square root of 13. When you put that in your calculator, you get 3.60. Wait a minute, 3.605, I believe. Let me just do it real quick to make sure. Yep. All right, so this dude is going to be 3.605. I'm keeping it out like that because it's asking us to round to the nearest hundredth, so I don't know. Now let's look here. This is the last side that we're looking for. So again, I'm going to draw a right triangle. We're going to count. This is going to be 2. This is going to be 3. Look, these numbers are the same as these numbers. So that means this is all going to end up the same. This is going to be the square root of 13, which of course is 3.605. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these things and we are going to add them up, each little segment. When we do that, oh, there we go. Sorry, I fell off the grid here. We're going to add all those babies up. After we do that, we're going to get 20.31. And that's our money. All right, moving on. Oh, this one's easy peasy. I wish they were all like this. So you can kind of just check the answer key for this one. Well, I'll just do it real quick. All right, you know this is going to be a cone and a cylinder, not a pyramid, not a rectangular prism. For this one here, no cones. We have cylinders, no pyramids, and rectangular prisms. So there's that. Now, last but not least, you have this guy. This one here is tough to see. On your actual test, it'll be a lot clearer to read. But this right here is actually a cone. There's a cylinder. I believe that's a cylinder too. Pyramid is at the top. That looks like a square pyramid with triangular faces. That's what makes it a pyramid, which you guys know that. And then, of course, the castle is actually a rectangular prism, the main meat of it. And I think we got some rectangular prisms here too. So that's all of them. All right, the next one, I know this one is going to be tough to read, so just bear with me. Let me do one of these. Slide that baby up right there. Okay. So this is talking about population density. Now this says The population in Florida in 2010 was, God, that's a big old number. This says 18,801,310. And the land area was 53625 square miles. Oh, I hope you guys can see that. There we go. Ah, no. Stay with me. It says that the population increased by 5.8% by 2014. So 5.8% in 2014. To the nearest whole number, what is the population density in people per square mile for Florida in 2014? All right, so what we first need to do, if we know this is the population in 2010, we know it had a 5.8 increase by 2014, so we need to figure out what 5.8% of that is and then add it to that number. So to do that, you are going to first convert this to a decimal. When you do that, you're going to just take your decimal point and move it 2 places to the left. So we are going to take this number and we are going to multiply it by 0.058, and that is going to give us 0.58%. So I'm going to do that real quick. 18,801,310 times 0.058, enter. All right, by the way, be careful when you are doing this in your calculator. Make sure that your decimal places are in the right spot. So 5.8% of that is 10,90475. Your calculator is going to say 0.98. You can't have 0.98 of a person. So actually what I'm going to do, instead of making this 7.5, I'm going to make this 7.6 here. And then let me make sure this looks right. Yeah. Okay, so that's 1 million and whatever. So now this is the 5.8%. We're going to take that and we're going to add it to that, and that is going to give us the population for Florida in 2014. So take that number, add 18,801,310, enter. All right, and we are going to have 198,917. Again, it says 859, so it's going to be 86. All right, this is population. So this is people in 2014. I hope that we can see all of that. Can we? Oh, man, I can't even see this. How shaky is this? Oh my gosh. Feels like we're on a roller coaster. That would be a lot more fun than this, wouldn't it? Just kidding. Math is so fun. All right, moving on. Now that we know how many people populated Florida in 2014, we need to figure out how many people per 1 square mile. So it's going to be x over 1. When 1 is in the bottom like that, we're just going to take this number and we're going to divide it by this. So it's going to be 53625. So when you do that, sorry guys, you are going to get, oops, clear that out, divided by 53625. And we're going to get 371. So that's what you were going to put right, where are we? Right here in box A. It's going to be 371. So 371. All right, cool. So there were 371 people per square mile. By the way, what I meant by that when the 1 is in the denominator is if we had this kick in and you had x over 1 and then you do the butterfly effect, you're just going to end up right here. So it's, if you need to go the long route, do it. All right, now that we know that, part B is asking us, to the nearest whole number, how much did the population density in people per square mile increase from 2010 to 2014? So now what we're going to do is we need to figure out the population density for 2010. So we are going to use this number here, and we're going to take that, so that's 188,001,310. 310. Let me make sure that's right. Yep. And we're going to divide that by the total number of miles, which is 53625. So same thing. Remember, it's people over square miles. Whatever your unit of 1 is, that's what goes on the bottom. So we want to know how many people per 1 square mile. So you, again, if you did the butterfly effect here, you're going to end up right here. So let's just take that 18801,310 and divide it by the 53625, enter. And we are going to get 351. Now, don't write that as your answer. That's not what it's asking you for. It's asking us for the increase. So we went from 371 people, or excuse me, we started with 351 people per square mile in 2010, and then we had an increase of 20. That's kind of cool. 20 more people per square mile. I wonder what it is now, 3 years later. I wonder if we added 20 more. Something to look at, right? All right, so there's that. Now let's move on to